I'll touch it in four parts briefly. So the Sharm el Sheikh, well, just Dushyant called it Sharm Kar Sheikh. I call it the Sharm el Sheikh circus. Because why do I call it the circus? This was supposed to be a grand peace plan discussing the Gaza peace plan, but the main protagonists were not there. Neither was Hamas there, represented, nor Israelis were there. What Gaza plan have you discussed? It was just a photo ops and not and calling various people who are not even involved in this. Then, so that leads to the question: who signed the peace agreement, if there was any? I don't think. So till now, the remaining 20 male hostages have been given. There are supposed to have been total 28 mortal remains, out of which, including the two now, 9 is gone. 19 they are saying they can't access. They need special equipment, which Israel is not buying. Now, there is nothing signed. Now, all this was to have happened with the international stabilization force located.
वो कहाँ है?
Of course, वो है ही नहीं. Israelis have come to the yellow line, the first line, the yellow line. But there is no international stabilization force. Nobody has committed anything. Then, when you say that you want to demilitarize the Hamas and remove them, how do you identify them? What are you talking? He'll just throw his weapon and he'll blend with the people. He's the same person. There is nothing that you have except for the senior leaders whom you had your photographs and your eyes on. The rest of the fighters, you don't know who they are. And there are reports coming out that open execution Hamas is doing of Palestinians in Gaza who are not supporting them. With varying figures. Some say 20 have been killed, some say 50 have been killed. So basically, it's just a circus. It's just looking at a spark to ignite again. Now, you say it is a Gaza peace plan. Mahmoud Abbas had come from the head of the Palestinian Authority, had come in a suit. People would have noted his lapel pin was a key. The key is the symbol from river to the sea. You're coming for a peace plan and you're coming wearing that same symbol from the river to the sea. So what peace plan are we talking about? So it is just a showmanship, maybe trying to show to the world that, look, I'm doing so much, make a Nobel Prize nahi mila. About it, nothing else. And when we look at the Indo-Pacific, where you had mentioned that Besant had made that famous statement, Indo-Pacific, allies, this, that. Ab yaad aa raha? Itne mahino se you never remembered anybody. You were a dead economy. Everything was done. But what has happened, which they will regret, is that because of the tariffs on everybody, they've all coalesced together. And all of us are trying to do our trade deals with each other, especially in the region. When you see Australia already had, they want to improve it further. New Zealand wants to do it. South Korea is there with you. Japan is wanting to deal with you. So suddenly US is finding that he's on a slippery slope. Why? EU's deal is pushing through at quite a rapid pace. And I'm sure by end of this month or beginning of next month, the deal will be done. Then the US works in a vacuum. He has no deals with anybody as yet. Then you become in a vacuum. The only thing left is the Middle East or the West Asia, which is also up in smoke. You never know what is going to happen. Then where does it go? China has its own internal turmoil, but like we always know, they try to strike back. So they have struck back. So for rare earth, they don't want to give it to them. They are telling us that they'll give it to us, but don't give it to the USA. They have also done the repeat of 100% tariff on all American ships which are docking in Chinese ports, and any American product, 100% handling charges at the port. What the US has done. US was getting 100% tariff from 1st November. Let us see whether he does or not. Because what he doesn't realize is bulk of the dependencies on day-to-day items and almost everything, whether you take furniture, your crockery, cutlery, you name it, the dependency of US is on China. That is what is the bulk that he imports. And if he's going to put so much of tariff, then what happens to his economy? So this is, he's suddenly finding that Indo-Pacific like-minded countries are joining together, minus him. So I think the State Department and others must have been feeling that there is a problem, major problem that they are facing. Now, I would say yes, our strategic autonomy has paid dividends. You see, the trade has not been hit. If you look at the GTRI figures, September, your trade has gone up. It's not reduced. Even the affected ones, which we felt that your jewelry and garments and shrimps, nothing has gone down. And electronics has gone through the roof, 60% increase. See, the biggest advantage India has is that the US big MNCs across all sectors have full faith in India. Just imagine, so the biggest, one of the largest AI, Google is investing in Andhra Pradesh. All these big ticket companies are leaning on you. They realize even if you look at your normal trade defense deal also, yeah, it may be slowing down a bit because of pressures, political pressures, but the MIC is not giving up on you. MIC generally has not given up on you. And this is where he would be feeling that if I don't change tack, but how do you change tack? Our EAM had mentioned that while the European Union trade deal is going at fast pace, as far as US is concerned, we have not yet reached a common ground to start negotiation. So then is desperation, talking of I don't want to harm him, as if a threat, that as if he can harm somebody in India and wants a regime change. He thinks India is Venezuela, where he openly made the statement that he has given the get-go to CIA to have a regime change in Venezuela. So he is actually confused at the moment, his team. But one thing is clear, now that Lavaro has been made to shut up, Lutnick is also generally shut up. It is essentially Besant and Trump who are now making statements. And it becomes contradictory. How much can Trump pull back? Because there is going to be tremendous loss of face. What he will also try to look at the off-ramp for himself. I think he's waiting for the Supreme Court judgment. And from there, then he might start pulling tack backwards, especially for India. So, given all the antics and statements, I think the desperation level is now going high, because he's got to hold hand for his agricultural sector. He was planning on about 14 to 15 billion when the government comes, when the government starts functioning, the shutdown goes off. But the agricultural secretary and the other economists are saying they need around 50 billion. Anything between 30 to 50 billion. His total earning from tariff, from his own people, of course, which he will not agree, is 31 billion. How does he pay? If everything goes, then what is he left with? So that is the catch-22 that he has, that the tariffs are coming home to hurt. And suddenly he finds that US is working in a vacuum and he needs now his allies. So the question remains, how is he going to change tack?